He's getting every player in between playing to the best of their ability. And even when they're not at the best, they're finding ways to win games. It's excellent. You'll take the luck.
Oh, yeah, especially after what they have gone through with the Champions League midweek, and you don't know how they're going to react, and they get the win, they'll take it, especially away from home. And now they sit 7 points above Real Madrid in the table. Real Madrid is still to play this weekend. Let's chat about this Barcelona team because, like you said, you never kind of know what to expect. It's a very tough decisions that Hansi Flick, the manager, needs to make to know that they need to win this game to continue on and be comfortable in La Liga, but still recognizing that they have the second leg of the Champions League quarterfinal after playing the first leg just on Wednesday. And Leganes definitely made it tough for them. Was it because they were tired, or was it just the style of play from Leganes?
I give a lot of credit to Hansi Flick on the job that he's done since he's taken over at Barcelona. It's really remarkable. I mean, getting results consistently in 2025 is ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 20 victories in 2025.
Yes.
He seems to like this year. And this guy likes lifting trophies as well. But sometimes when you come up against opponents who are in the bottom half of the table, some of them fighting for their lives, and especially when you've got a point to prove against an opponent that beat you previously in the home fixture, you got to get the job done. And sometimes it doesn't matter how you get the job done. So my biggest question to Hansi Flick was, what was he going to do? Was he going to rotate 4, 5, 6 players out, understanding that Champions League is so important? Regardless of the big advantage they have going into the second leg, they made 2 changes. And that, to me, is genius-like from Hansi Flick. He brought in Araujo along that back line, someone who you gave the captain's armband to, leadership position, obviously dominant along that back line, and you knew it was going to be an important game for him to try and potentially put himself into contention for that second leg. But then you bring in Eric Garcia in midfield, and he actually had a very good game as well. So giving opportunity, meanwhile keeping momentum going forward in the right direction. This lineup doesn't lie. No. It's got pure quality. Now, the biggest surprise I had was in the first half, they didn't have a shot on target. So therefore, they were playing a bit more cautiously. They were playing with the understanding, don't get hurt, don't be silly, don't run through brick walls, but try to get the job done and pick up all 3 points. They waited until the second half to get the all-important goal. But to me, he's just brilliant what Hansi Flick is doing on the sidelines. He's just excellent.
Let's keep that conversation going, because with Hansi Flick, it really seems like this season he comes in with a style that he knew was going to work with these young players. Not easy to get them to buy in. All these players that don't have as much experience as some of the older players. Obviously, you have a player like Robert Lewandowski that can come in and kind of lead by example on the pitch as well. But the job that Hansi Flick has done, I think, is second to none this year in Europe.
Yeah, I think if you look at the squad that Barcelona have assembled, and maybe it's not credit to Hansi Flick, maybe you got to give Xavi a lot of credit for the way he's put this squad together, and then Hansi Flick has taken over it. I mean, they haven't spent a lot of money. They've been through financial distress, but if you look at the way the squad was assembled, they spent just over $200 million, US dollars, to be able to put the squad together. A lot of players coming through La Masia, which is great to see for the first time in a long period of time. Those kids have stepped up and really become a fortress, right? They've become a domination of players where you're saying to Hansi Flick, don't leave me out of the squad because I'm going to win the league for you, and I might even win a treble for you, and if you're lucky, I might win another 6 trophies for you. How much is that squad worth now? I mean, from my estimation, it's worth way over $600 million. And if you look at the squad that Hansi Flick is dealing with right in front of him right now, he might have the best youngest player in world football right now, in Lamine Yamal, and he might have the best oldest player in world football right now. I'm not talking about Chesney. I'm talking about Lewandowski at his age. I mean, you go to different ends of the spectrum, and it's amazing to see that what he has at his disposal, he's getting the best out of those players. Today wasn't a great example of that, but you still got to get the job done. And sometimes the players in between the oldest and the youngest tells you the quality of what Hansi Flick is. This guy came in on a short-term contract, and he's managing to get players, whether you're 37 years old and retired sitting on a beach, or you're 17 years old and you've got all the pressure on your shoulders to bring Barcelona back to championship success. He's getting every player in between playing to the best of their ability. And even when they're not at the best, they're finding ways to win games. It's excellent.
Title-winning teams find ways to get results even when they aren't playing at their best. And today was one of those days. And this team, this Hansi Flick managed team, is one of those teams. Yeah. 2025, we mentioned it. 20 wins, 4 draws, 0 losses. That's right, 0. Can this team go undefeated in all competitions to finish the season?
It's a big ask to go undefeated across all competitions because you've got multiple El Clasicos coming up, and I'm sure the Real Madrid fans will be looking forward to those games because there's a point to prove, especially after the most recent results where Barcelona have pumped 9 goals past them in 2 games. Now, to me in particular, this Barcelona team is the most consistent team in 2025. PSG not too far away from behind them. So that'll be an interesting matchup if we do see it in the Champions League. But for me, right now, Barcelona, the best team. And even when they're not playing well, they're finding ways to win games. They're finding ways not to lose games. And in many ways, when you look at a performance like that against Leganes, you look at obviously all the names, the big names. They're the ones who are going to create the headlines, the Lewandowskis, the Rafinhas, the Lamine Yamals. But it's the defence that actually stands up strong in performances like this that will never get spoken about. The performance from, obviously, Araujo came in and wore the captain's armband, excellent. But Chesney is a goalkeeper who's, as I mentioned it so many times before, he's someone who retired and has been called upon to come in and take over a massive opportunity to help a club with great history in multiple competitions win trophies. After what they've been through, this guy might be the most important player. And it's crazy for me to say, I know we'll talk about the goals from Leva. We'll talk about Lamine's quality and potentially being the best player in the world right now. On the other side of the wing, maybe it's the other best player in the world right now, Rafinha, who's trying to grab. Or is it Pedri, who's probably the best playmaker in the world right now? I mean, they have created such an amazing squad of players. But at the end of the day, you need the defense to step up. They did against Leganes, and the goalkeeper came up big once again. Chesney's been unbelievable since he's arrived at the club.
Here are the next fixtures in La Liga for Barcelona. We know that they obviously have the quarterfinals against Dortmund, the second leg coming up this week. But the Clásico on May 11th, you got to circle that one because it could be a lot of things. It could be Real Madrid getting back into the title race, or it could be Barcelona winning the title by beating their biggest rival. That would be theater.
Copa del Rey, La Liga, Champions League, we could see, El Clásico dominate football between now and the end of the season. God, I hope that happens. But at the same time, I find it very hard to sit there right now and say that this Real Madrid would have any chance against this Barcelona team. This Barcelona team's playing the best, most pleasing on the eye style of football of any team in European competition right now. PSG are not far behind it. They're playing some good football and they're young. Their average age is obviously around about 24, which is excellent. It's getting younger. But this Barcelona team with mix of youth and experience, the style, even against Leganes when they didn't even score a goal, they relied on their own goal. They still made that look good. That's how good they are right now, Barcelona. They're flying, and I just find it very hard to see any team, and that includes Real Madrid, stopping them.
It'll be interesting to watch and chase and find that league and see who is going to be the best team that ends up on top in all of those competitions. All right, let's see some of the La Liga results. Mallorca with a 2-0 win over Real Sociedad. Las Palmas 3-1 over Getafe. Espanyol 2-0 over Celta Vigo. And you saw that. Barcelona with an own goal. They'll take it 1-0 over Leganes.